Reed was a devoted patron of the local farmers market, priding himself on his dedication to clean, organic eating. The market was a weekly ritual for him, a sanctuary of fresh produce and wholesome ingredients. On this particular day, he strolled through the bustling stalls, filling his basket with vibrant, juicy fruits and crisp vegetables. As he finished selecting his usual fare, he realized he wanted some bananas. Unfortunately, the available options were less than ideal. Most were underripe or overly bruised, except for one vendor. The man was unfamiliar to Reed, who had made friends with most of the produce vendors. He was eccentric and shifty looking, but the bananas he was offering were perfect, almost unnaturally so. Reed approached the vendor, his curiosity piqued. "Hello, your fruit looks great. I've never seen you here before. Where are you from?" The vendor grinned, his eyes gleaming brightly. "Oh, I'm from somewhere far, far away. I'll tell you what, since you complimented my bananas, I'll give you a bunch on the house." "Gee, thanks so much," Reed replied, adding a bunch of the perfect bananas to his basket. "Be sure to tell your friends," the vendor called out as Reed moved on. When Reed got home, he began putting away his purchases, eager to try one of the flawless bananas. He peeled the golden skin and was lifting the banana to his mouth when he caught movement in his eye. To his horror, a tiny mouth with rows of hook-like teeth opened at the top of the banana. It looked like some horrible leech or a lamprey. He recoiled, and the banana stretched, lunging at him, seemingly trying to latch onto his tongue. Terrified, he threw the banana across the kitchen. The remaining bananas on the counter separated from the stem and began inching grotesquely across the surface in a worm-like fashion. Reed was frozen, a wave of nausea washing over him. He bolted to the bathroom to vomit, and when he returned to the kitchen, there was no sign of the banana worms. Shaken, he quickly threw away every vegetable he'd purchased and resolved to order takeout that night. As he lay in bed, he tried to convince himself that the entire episode had been a nightmare. But the unease clung to him like a dark cloud, even as sleep finally took him. The next morning, Reed awoke with a lingering sense of dread. He dressed and set out on his usual walk to work, hoping the fresh air would clear his mind. But as he stepped onto the street, his blood ran cold. People were ambling past him, their eyes glazed and milky. Each one had a banana protruding from their mouth, muffling feeble, helpless moans. They shuffled along in a herd, controlled against their will. Reed's heart pounded in his chest as he stood frozen in the doorway. The perfect bananas, a gift from somewhere far, far away, had claimed them all. He could only watch in horror, his stomach churning, as the mindless crowd moved on.